Good evening, good evening, good evening. I want to welcome you to tonight's Bible study. Thank you for coming. One reason the Bishop of Twitch is in the house. Good evening to you, sir, and peace be multiplied unto you. DJ Rock and Ron, that's my brother right there, and I appreciate you. I knew you were on your way into Bible study on last night, but I appreciate you for always stopping in, and it's good to have you tonight. To all of you, my father's children that are here, Joanna G, come on, good to see you, sis. Nothing but so much love coming to you. I appreciate you. Thank you for being in the midst, sis. So much love, so much love. Now, I am the spiritual thought leader, Regina L. Stillman, and we are taking a stroll from Genesis to Revelations in chronological order. So if you have not read the Bible from cover to cover, you are definitely invited to come in every evening at 6 o'clock and join us here as we take a walk through the word. Word on fire is what I call it. And I appreciate everybody that comes through. I don't know who all is in the vestibule and not in the sanctuary today. But those of you that did send me your information, you should have received the transcript from the other night on epigenetics. I have not gotten the other one prepared because I am in class. J Trey 707, there's my friend from California. I love me some you. Good to see you tonight. But as I said, you should have, for those that reached out to me with your emails and made me aware that you wanted that, you should have received that in your emails. If you did not, please let me know. I didn't get anything back rejected, so I'm gonna assume that you received that. Now, tonight we're gonna keep on flowing and going. I am so grateful. So many good things are happening right now. I'm telling you, Dr. Dady Priest, there's the high priestess. It's good to see you on this fine evening. Welcome, 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 and thank you for being with us on tonight. I will say one reason DJ Rock and Ron and Dr. Dady Priest, for those of you that are on Twitch, everyone is not on Twitch, but for those of you who are on Twitch, these are streamers, and I would love for you to go out and to support them if you would. I just hate one reason that I haven't been able to get in your stream. It's just been one crazy, well, I won't say crazy, but my path is going a different direction, and so my time, there's a conflict there, but you're always in my heart, and I'm always thinking about you in that time, at that time of the morning. Now, we're going to go right on to the word tonight. Where, Moses is wrapping up his time with the children of Israel. Miriam was the first to pass away. She's already deceased. Aaron has passed away. He's deceased. And what we're seeing now, the high priest is Aaron's son, Eleazar. And so we see Moses working with Eleazar and kind of mentoring him and tutoring him as well as the people. And I put it that way because a lot, even tonight, when we look at what's going on, the Midianites to be slain, that's in Numbers 25. Verses 10 through 18. Then we have the second numbering of the people. I'm going to touch on that a little bit, which is in Numbers, the 26th chapter, verses 1 through 58, and then 61 to 65. Moses starts reviewing the law, the different laws that have been given. He starts reviewing the law. Now, I feel like this review is partly because he knows his time is at hand and he is getting Eleazar ready to take the helm as the high priest. And then, of course, Joshua is going to take and operate in his stead. We have the inheritance laws, Numbers 27, verses 1 through 11. And then once again, the Passover, Numbers 28, verses 1 through 31. So that's where we are in the Bible. Moses's time, again, is drawing very, very near. So we see him taking care of reviewing. And I think this is something, man, Stay Lifted and I really got in an excellent conversation when I was doing the epigenetics on the other night, and I shared in that session how I was blessed. I was so blessed because my mother, before she passed, had started sometime before, because she fell. We didn't know, that was all. She wasn't sick, and on her way out, she fell, and that was the beginning of the end. But I was sharing how there at the end, we had developed a relationship where she was just sharing things about her life. And I think there's that reflection that oftentimes happens, but it was so marvelous because, as I said, it gave me an opportunity to hear some of the things that I don't think she really had shared with anybody about her life and things that had happened. And we were talking about how trauma, as far as epigenetics, having shown and proven that trauma can be transferred genetically on our genes. It can be passed on our genes. And we were addressing that element, and how even in her sharing, it absolutely gave me an opportunity to see myself in a brand new way. I saw her in a different way, but then I also began to understand some things that we talked about from the epigenetics of trauma being passed on from generation to generation, how sometimes we are actually manifesting different things as far as trauma responses and trauma triggers that have been passed on to us, and we don't necessarily know where did that come from. And I know even for myself, that was something that it was very helpful to have that review and to have that discussion and to see myself better through my mother's eyes and being able to understand some of the things that she had been through, and where I could see definitely. I said, you all may, for the Bible scholars, remember the scripture that says the fathers have eaten sour grapes and the children's teeth are set on edge, meaning that something happened to our foreparents and the effects of it, we felt it, we experienced it. Or, as I said, and this may be a little dated for some of you, and I'm just kind of doing a little review here, but I'm also trying to address why I think Moses was covering and going back over some of these things, because he knew his life was coming to an end and he was just sharing. And so we used to say, and again, I might date myself a little bit here, but we would say, oh, he marked her, or she marked, we called it marking, because that child, and even to the extent where sometimes that child had no interaction with parents and grandparents and had no way of knowing, had some of the same mannerisms, some of the same issues, some of the same behaviors. And so we talked about it from that standpoint, and how empowering it can be when you understand epigenetics. And I say that from the standpoint, once more and again, everything is not a devil, everything is not a demon. Some of that has been passed from the fourth, fifth, sixth, and seventh generation back. And it's good to understand some of that. Moses takes the time before he leaves and starts covering different elements, not just the law, but he begins to have also recounts of things that had happened and bring it to the children of Israel's remembrance. Something about it, if you don't know your past, you're doomed to repeat it. It's going to come back around. Please believe that. And there is a blessing in having that anchor that lets you or reminds you of what you maybe have forgotten over the years, or allows you to know some things that happened that maybe you didn't know, didn't remember, or were too small, whatever the case may be. So I love how this is the phase that Moses is in. Now, even though he's at this age and stage, many of you may have heard of Korah, Korah, I believe is how he spells his name. Korah's rebellion. So I don't care where you are in your journey, you're going to always have those that want to challenge you and want to take you to task for being called, being anointed, being ready to take that next step in your journey. It comes in the conversation here as Moses and Eleazar are talking, and he goes out and tells them, listen, I want you to number the people one more time. In essence, what you see happen, the mandate is everybody 20 and below, or is it 20 and above? And it came to pass, I'm going to go ahead and just put this up here. It came to pass after the plague that the Lord spake unto Moses and said unto Eleazar, the son of Aaron, the priest, saying, take the sum of all the congregation of the children of Israel from 20 years old and upward, it is upward, throughout their father's house, all that are able to go to war in Israel. And Moses and Eleazar, the priest, spake with them in the plains of Moab by Jordan near Jericho, saying, take the sum of the people from 20 years old and upward, as the Lord commanded Moses and the children of Israel, which went forth out of the land of Egypt. Reuben, the eldest son of Israel, and we're going to go through all the tribes here, so we have all the numbering that's getting ready to go on. Of Hezron, the family of the Hezronites, of Carmi, of the family of the Carmites. He goes on. These are the families of the Reubenites. So we're going through and we're looking at all of the families, individuals, and of the sons of Palu, Eliab, the sons of Eliab, Nemuel, and Dathan, and Abiram. This is that Dathan and Abiram, which were famous in the congregation, who strove against Moses. And now, some of y'all remember the 10 Commandments, and you're like, where did they come up with these names? These are actual names. Dathan rose and strove against Moses and against Aaron with the sons of Korah. And against the Aaron and the company of Korah, when they strove against the Lord. And the earth opened up the mouth and swallowed them up together with Korah. When the company died, when the time came, the fire devoured 250 men, and they became a sign. So here he goes back and he's reflecting on. Now, remember, he's doing this with the people, and he's got Eleazar by his side. Again, this is Aaron's son, having preceded Aaron after his death as the high priest. So we're going back, and he's gathering the people together. Now, at the end of the day, we see ultimately what is going to happen is that a new generation has arisen. A new generation is rising up. And I think there's a lot to be said, even for myself. And you know, I still have there's a whole lot of life left in me. Please believe that. I'm not by any stretch saying that my time is over. I've been working feverishly today, and even this evening, I was taking calls right up to the time that I pressed that button to play the intro, because things are putting things in order, getting things together, and we're on the move. But I do feel that some of what I'm doing is wrapping up some things that I had out there that have been blessings and promises that God gave me from back when. Even those that I've encountered along the way who are coming back. Oh my God, I could today. I can't really give the full testimony, but today, one of the lions from the lion's den came back with the testimony. And you know, I took the time to be obedient to the Lord and have that downtime, because I needed that, because I knew this day was going to come. I knew this season was going to spring forth, even as Moses is doing here. You know that the time of the promised land is at hand. Fortunately, I believe that there are many things that I'm going to get to go into the promised land and see. And at the same time, there are some things that I know that season has passed. But one of the lions reached out to me today, and something that I had spoken on some time ago. And they just pondered it in their hearts for the last 2 years, and the Lord manifested that thing and brought it to pass. And they said to me today, it came to pass just like you prophesied to me, STL. And I just can't give the full of it because I've not been released to do that, and it's still in process. But this is what I'm talking about. We know that it's time to go into the promised land. So I know that there is still that's yet for me to do. But I also feel like Moses, the flip side of that, as one of the seasoned, I won't say old, but as one of the seasoned that I've seen quite a bit, I've experienced quite a bit. I feel like this is the time for me to pour into those that are coming after. I'm excited about his future because the young, the youth is on, he called the young because they're strong. Youthfulness is on their side. God has just, in an unbelievable way, set them up for another dimension of success. And that's why I tell you guys, hold on, don't let go. I don't care what it looks like. Hold on, don't let go. I don't care what it looks like. God is not a man that he should lie, neither the son of man that he should repent. But I'm aware that the next generation, the new generation, as it's listed in the outline in Reese's Chronological, the new generation, it's time to pass the torch. And again, I don't say that. I'm glad because I'm in it. I feel like I'm a Joshua Caleb personality right now. I feel like Moses, there's that preparation for the new generation that needs to happen. But I also feel like I'm not just gonna get to stand on the mountaintop. My toes are going. Hey, I felt something right there. My toes are gonna get to tip over into that promised land and get a little taste of that. Even though Joshua and Caleb had experienced everything from Egypt through the wandering into the promised land. And I think some of you all that are seasoned like myself, I want to encourage your hearts as we're seeing the new generation that's coming to the forefront, and as it should be. I watched Rebel today. The Rebel Inc. had a powerful stream today. She normally has one platform that she does on Thursdays, but she felt led to go a different direction on today. Very empowering. I sat there and I watched that, and I was so blessed by it because I see the new generation coming forth. Oh my God! Now listen. Listen. If you can't get happy about other folks and the success that's coming to them, I just don't know what to say to you. But listen, when I listen and what she was doing, she made a clarion call to everybody to come together and work as a unit. And I was so blessed by how the conversation in the room. Listen. I'm still on the Bible study tonight, but you know how I say, I'm not just about reading scriptures and pulling them out. Let's talk about and make another history lesson. How does this tie into our times right now in the day in which we live? I believe the new generation is rising up. There are those that I don't want to hear about the new generation. Y'all, listen, the Joshua generation. I remember when in the 80s they were preaching and teaching the Joshua generation and folks started getting angry. Listen, every generation has a new generation, so get ready for that. But at the end of the day, there is a joy that I experience when I see what God is doing. And please believe when I got the whisper, as Rebel was going forth, I was actually in her channel on her stream when I got the whisper from the individual. I was blown away. Now, I can't tell it, y'all. I just can't tell it because I'm not released to. But I do want to tell you this. Some of you, God is getting ready through means and ways that you didn't even think. God is getting ready to put big money, big opportunities. Am I talking to anybody in here? big resources, your faithfulness, your consistency, your refusal to give up even when it seemed like everything was falling apart and nothing was going to work out. I will say that this is one thing that the individual did share. It seemed like, and this blessed my soul, it seemed like there was no support, and that was the string that they were holding on to coming into the lion's den. That was the string, that was the thread that was holding it together coming into the lion's den. And then the prophetic word that came. Listen, I'm trying to tell you, we are in a beautiful place right now. I know there, and I've gotten so I almost don't even listen to a lot of the news, not as a disinterested party. I'm very interested in what's going on. I pay attention to the sources that I go and get what I'm going to ingest, because I don't feed from all the sources that are out there, because a lot of that stuff is polluted. But I do go to valued sources to keep myself aware and abreast. But my energy is not really focused on that. Even as what the rebel was speaking today, this is a time, if and when, because I believe we're going to do this, I believe we're going to accomplish it. We come together as a people. God is getting ready to do and manifest something that has never been seen and never been done before. I believe that. And for everybody that's embracing this energy and taking on this mindset, and listen, age ain't nothing but a number, because a lot of it deals from the perspective of where is your mind. You can be a youthful person as far as your age and have old people's minds. You can have old people's thoughts, old people's, because listen, I'm telling you, I've listened and I've observed people that are very, very youthful that I thought the next generation was going to take it to another level in certain areas, and they have latched on to that old mindset. By the same token, I've seen those young people that are the new generation that are taking the bull by the horns, and they're saying, listen, we're going to get out here and we're going to pull our resources together, and we're going to pull our energies together, and we're going to begin to move in another way. Now, so what we end up seeing, because at the end of the day, the children of Korah died not. Now, if you remember, for those of you that pay attention in the Psalms, many of the Psalms, if you pay attention to them, it's the sons of Korah. I don't know how many of you have actually paid attention to that or not. Why am I making that a point? Where God made an example and a sign out of Korah, and all of those that participated, Dathan and the others Dothan and those the others that participated in that attempted rebellion, that attempted coup. Am I talking to anybody? Because I'm not going to get political tonight, but if you please read between the lines and hear what I'm saying. That attempted coup, that attempted takeover, that attempted, listen, we going to be in charge of this thing. We ain't paying no attention to Moses. When Moses been up in the mountain, we ain't paying no attention to him. We about to have a takeover. Everybody that sided in with that. And again, how many to say? It was only about 200 and some odd people. And 250 men. I want you to pay attention, because sometimes it would seem and appear that it's a mighty number that no man can number. 250 men out of all of those that were in the camp of the children of Israel. That is nothing but a drop in the hat. But they would make it seem like we're getting ready to take over everything. Do any of you see parallels going on here? So at the end of the day, what I want you to understand, them little 250 were just made an example of. Am I talking to anybody? There was no reason to fear. There was no reason to fall in line. There was no reason to have drama, can't sleep at night, can't eat in the day. Listen, all of this, I just stressed out and I can't hardly, baby. Korah's rebellion ain't gonna be nothing. Please believe that. But at the end of the day, what do we see from Korah's sons, who are often mentioned in the Psalms? I don't care, and this is for anybody that feels like your background has been so rough and tough and so out of sorts and so out of the spiritual realm and so misfit and misplaced. Baby, God doesn't care anything about all of that. God will take what was birthed from Korah and take those sons, take his seed, take his offspring, and have them mentioned, I don't know how many times, as the sons of Korah in the Psalms, in the praise, in the worship, in the leading of the people, in coming into that place of giving God glory and blessing. Listen, don't worry one iota about your past. Don't worry one iota from whence you've come and who did this and who did that, even with epigenetics. I am saying I do want you to understand where some of that you are looking at saying, where in the world did that come from? How? Why? This is something that I'm struggling with. I don't know where it came from. I do want you to be aware and deal with your stuff. However, it cannot stop you from moving into your next place of greatness. It cannot stop you from moving into your blessed place. It cannot stop you from going into the land of promise. It cannot stop you. And I'm going to encourage you. Listen, I want you to surround yourselves with people that are like-minded. Can I encourage you to do that? Some of us are hanging out with folks that you're down because the people that you talk to every day are down. You're depressed. The people that you talk to every day are depressed. You feeling like you ain't gonna make it because the people that you hang out with have the energy. We ain't gonna make it. We're barely surviving. Boy, if God doesn't hurry up and beam us up from here, we just we gonna all be destroyed. Listen, I need you to find like-minded folk. I need you to start numbering them. I need you to start being numbered amongst them. That's the way I want to word it. I want to find yourself in the number. I know. Listen, I know we're talking about God sending them out the number to people. I want you to find yourself in the number of the right folks. Am I talking to anybody? Find yourself numbered with the people that are talking victory. Number yourself with the people that are getting up and doing something, not just talk about it, but be about it. One of the things, as Rebel was talking today and I was sharing and someone shared with me, I move in silence. Listen, you don't have to go out and tell the world what you're doing, because sometimes you alert the folks as to what you getting ready to do. You done already showed your whole entire hand. But sometimes it is needful and necessary, Chef Nobi. It is needful for you to align yourself with other energies. Align yourself with other people. Align yourself. Come on. Some of you streamers need to align yourself with the right streamers. Align yourself. You understand what I'm saying? Whatever it is that you need to be out and about doing, I want you to find yourselves finding a way to align and number. We're talking about numbers, God numbering the people again. Number, and sometimes you got to number more than once. The group that you started out with may not be the group that you need right now. The group that you started out with may need to transition to a brand new group. The group that you started out with may be obsolete and of no effect any longer. The group that you started out with might be burnt out and feeling like they want to throw in the towel and quit and give up and go another way. Baby, I need you to pay attention and see who you're numbered with. Can I put it like that? See and recognize, who am I numbered with? Let me read some of these. Come on, come on. The sons of Korah reminds me to be in humility, gratitude, and honor for whatever position I'm currently in. Come on with that, Dalen. Come on, come on. I see you, CJ Manning. I see you, Chef Nobi. I want you to be numbered, but I want you to be numbered in the right number. Am I talking to anybody? There's a new thing that God is birthing in the earth. Y'all, all of these mindsets, people, traditions, And I'm not trying to throw all the baby out with the bathwater. What I'm trying to get you to understand, that time has ended. That season is over. And some of y'all still sitting out there looking at the field. Harvest has already been harvested. And you just sitting out there looking like, baby, I need you to go. Get up. Find your people. Find the ducks that quack like you quack. Find that people that understand the movement of the now. Find the new generation and the next generation and align yourself. It doesn't matter how old you are. Age ain't nothing but a number. I'm going to say that again. I do understand and recognize, and I'm going to say to those of you that may be maybe even nearer to my age, and some may be older. I don't know that there are too many in here that are older than I am. Take this time and season to feed and to impart into others, especially those that are coming behind us, especially our young folks, especially the generation behind and the generations behind them. Take this time to invest. Listen, woo, you got to know when that season has ended. Some of y'all still hanging around the water cooler in some areas where, baby, that ship has sailed for you. Now, unless you're hanging around the water cooler to pass on and impart to those that are coming behind and give them some words of wisdom and instruction and help them to have a better purview, some pitfalls, miss that, pay attention to this, unless that's what you're hanging around to do, that ship has sailed for you. And you have to be able to discern the difference between when the ship is sailed and when to look, because age ain't nothing but a number. Joshua and Caleb, listen, 80 years old, I want my mountain. It has nothing to do with age, but you do have to be able to discern your time and when your time is moving and where it's moving to. Sometimes the folks that grew up with you can't go into the new version of you. Come on, Chef Nobi. Come on. Come on, Dr. Dady. And so you've got to be able to discern when it's my time to impart and invest into those behind me, and when it's time to continue to press for my own press. Am I making sense? There is that season where you can actually be in both, if I can describe it like that. And you have to be astutely and keenly aware, where am I at? Some of us need to just stop right now, and I'm almost done. Some of us need to stop right now and identify in life, where am I at right now? And what's my purpose and what's my function? Season of being undaunted. Come on, Dalen. I love it. Come on, come on. Let your life begin to prepare itself to go. Can I ask this? How many of you are actually prepared to go into your promise? Put a 1 in the chat. If you feel like you are actually prepared to go, well, no, you don't even have to do that. You don't even have to do that. You don't even have to. I'm not gonna put you on front like that. I'm not even gonna do that. I just want you to take introspection, and just through introspection, am I fully ready right now to walk into my promise? Am I really ready right now? And I'm telling you, I believe that just as I got the whisper on today, just as I'm planning and God is busting down doors in my life on my behalf today, just the same way I believe that's what God is doing. And even as Rebel today was making that clarion call, come together, because this is our time to pull together and move on to this next place and leave this mountain, leave this wilderness, leave this space that we've been in all this time. It's time for us to walk in and possess it. Possess it. Possess it. And any area that you feel is still flailing and flagging out there, blowing in the wind, and not ready to step and cross over, into this next place. Now, again, just the same as what Moses did, there's a review, there's a renewing, there's a recommitment to. That's why they had to pass over again. There's a recommitment to the covenant. Because listen, claim your new season, Chef Nobi. Claim your new season. Oh my God, come on here. And I want you to have it in its fullness. But I'm gonna go back to what my girl said, Dalen. And I still look at it from time to ooh, and I just saw that testimony sitting up here, and even while I'm looking at it, I'm about to just jump up and start shouting. When I tell you, oh my God, God is blessing folks in major ways right now. God is blessing folk that in the lion's den. Ooh, my God. I just don't even know what to say. I just don't even know what to say. The baby said, I want to get on the plane and fly to you. Listen, we got a meeting scheduled. We really do. But it's not just one. So many of you that have been following, it's not by accident. And don't get it twisted. I don't think I'm the only one. I don't think it's the only place. Dr. Dady, she is chock full loaded with information to help you get into your promised land. Come on, you coming in cooking, come cook for me, Chef Nobi. One reason is faithful. Listen, every time he pipes up that stream, there's a blessing and a miracle. DJ Rock and Ron, Chef Nobi, come on. I want you all to understand, many of you are not coming by accident. There's a reason why God has you coming. And I believe that. There's a reason why. And I believe that just as sure as you've been coming and being faithful, God is going to be faithful and manifest to you. Now, as I said, I was looking for this. One reason, and Dalen gave this to me this was all the way back in January when Dalen said this. Things that are lustrous, because we were talking about shine and things that patina. Things that are lustrous require lots of work, dedication, and time. And not everybody is willing to go the distance. Now, as excited as I am about the new generation, and as excited as I am about being a part to go over into that promise, I also understand, just like Dalen said, things that are lustrous. We talk about it's your time to shine and this and that, and I do believe that. But it still takes a lot of work, dedication, and time. And not everybody's willing to go the distance. I want you to pay attention to how you utilize your time. I'm talking about going into the promised land, y'all, because it's time. It's on us. I want you to pay attention to how you spend your time. Are you having, and yes, we need rest. Yes, we need recreation. Yes, we need Sabbath. That is designed by God, by all means. But are you idling your time away? There's an old song we used to sing in the church, and I may really be reaching back to what you all don't remember. Don't shine too bright too fast, you'll burn out. Come on, Chef Nobi. I want us to identify. The old saints used to sing a song that said, don't do that, don't do that, don't idle your time away. And as I close on tonight, I just want you to ask yourselves, and again, not to trap yourself into some place of condemnation and start ruminating over what you didn't do and the wrong. No. I'm talking about to make up in your mind with determination, I'm not going to stop here. I just want you to ask and do introspection as to the places where you might be idling your time away. Don't idle your time away. When I was a little kid, I was like, that is the, what kind of song is that? I mean, okay. But listen, as my dad used to tell me, just keep living. As I've lived and as I've learned and as I've experienced over a span of 6+ decades, you can idle your time away. I want us to get ready to go into the new generation. Let's go. Hey, I'm a part of that. I'm a part of that. I'm a part of that. And many of you, if not all of you in here, are as well. Pay attention and let's go. My grandma used to say, idle hands are the devil's playground. Absolutely. Idle mind is the devil's workshop. All of that. They absolutely. There was something that those seniors knew about work ethic and being busy. They didn't know about Sabbath. They didn't know about rest. They didn't know about recreation. Unfortunately, not because I won't say they didn't, because a lot of our arts and a lot of our entertainment that we did amongst ourselves was our recreation time. We didn't get a lot of it, but I was going to speak to the fact that opportunity was not given. At this point, it seems like in some ways the pendulum has swung all the way back to the other side, where that work ethic is not always at the same level, that understanding that I've got to put my hands to labor. And again, I'm not talking just spiritually, because coming to me, all you that labor and heavy laden, I will give you rest in the spirit. But there are things that if you want it to happen, you've got to put your hand to work. I just don't know how to say that. That work may consist of you getting more education and more understanding, sharpening your tools, adding tools to what you already have. But you've got to put your hands to work. And then let's be numbered. Faith without works is dead, darling. Come on here. Faith without works is dead. We've got to be numbered. And that's the point I want to make tonight. We can't do this without each other. I'm glad to have Chef Nobi. I'm going to just come through and say everybody's name because I'm glad to have you. Not about you just being in my stream, but I feel strength from you. I feel hope with you. I feel encouraged by you. I got one reason. I got DJ Rock and Ron. Come on here. I got Joanna G98. I got J Trey 707. I got Dr. Dady Priest. Oh my goodness. Just thought that, honey, please look at. I got CJ Manning 7. I got Chef Nobi. Listen, I got Dalen 628. If I didn't have anybody else, do you see the dynamo and the powerhouse that I have just in the names that I set forth? I get strength from you, and I hope you get strength from me. I want to be numbered with you, and I want you to be numbered with me. It's all of us pulling and working together to make this transition that we're about to see on the earth. And I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. I believe it. It's our time. This is our season. There's no accident. Even what's going on right now in the earth is not an accident. It is not. It's by divine appointment, divine assignment, and we've got work to do. Pay attention to who you're numbered with. My son is learning the Bible. I told him to come on in here. Tell him to come on. Tell him to come on in here. Everybody's welcome. And this, as I said, this pass from Genesis to Revelation, so we may do it again, is really, I haven't tried to get into really deep Bible study. And for some, that may be frustrating, but that wasn't my goal. I said that from day one, and I've said that throughout. This is just for anybody that wants to come in, and we're just reading the Bible together from Genesis to Revelations. I'm pulling out highlights. This isn't necessarily the in depth. So I don't care what level they're in, what level they're at. Tell your son to come on. And then there may be those here that are deep. Go ahead and drop those gems, drop those jewels, put them in there. But my goal this time around was let's just read the whole Bible in its entirety, because you'd be amazed at the number of people that have never read Genesis to Revelation. And that's the truth. So I appreciate him, give him my love. But I want you to pay attention. Who are you numbered with? And I need you all to assign and align yourself with folks that are moving in this new generation. All right. Come on. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm so glad. I'm so glad for your son, and blessings upon blessings to you and him. All right. So my goal here tonight was to be very practical about the numbering and the new generation. And again, to identify, I don't care if you are the sons and daughters of Korah. What Korah did has no impact on you. If you deal with your stuff, now that's the part that epigenetics, you need to know what you're dealing with. The first thing you got to do is admit that you have a problem and know what it is. Identify, figure it out. I don't care if you have to go to counseling and therapy or whatever the case may be. Figure it out. And I'm going to say one last time, as I said on the other night, some of us need to share our journeys with the generations behind us, because they need to hear what we've been hiding. Can I say that one more time? Some of us need to share what we've been through with the generations that are coming behind us, because they need to hear what we've been hiding. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. All right. I love you. I hope tonight has helped you and blessed you in some way. Pay attention to who you're being numbered with. Go ahead and read the rest of those passages, the inheritance laws and the Passover, all of that was done. And then we're going to come back tomorrow with the Feast of Trumpets. We're going to have a party. We're going to have a high. My journey is one like I like to share, because it's a help to young women. And we should come on, CJ Manning. Let's go. Oh, come on here. You're so welcome. One reason. Let's go. One reason. Listen. I love it. I love it. You are so welcome, J Trey. Dalen, I'm gonna be here and I'll be on YouTube. I'm working out some things. I'm working up how you can access me. But I definitely I appreciate you all. I will continue on here at least for a season. We're still working up YouTube. I want to know, if I'm participating in the boycott, I'm gonna tell you, as I said in Rebels, I boycott without being told to boycott. And I boycott not necessarily because of a trend or whatever the case may be. Now, I understand the power of numbers and all of that. This is what I want us to understand. And Dalen, I'm tell you what. If we boycotted all of these companies that really don't care for us of color, we couldn't buy hardly anything, and we sure won't buy from each other. Did I say that? Yes, I did. Let me come back and say it once more and again for the people in the back. If we really boycotted all of these corporations that don't like us and that use us for our dollar power, but come on one reason, but do not care about us and actually pretty near hate us as people, but they want our dollars to exploit us because they know that we will be the biggest consumer in the market and spend the most ridiculous amount of money and make them filthy rich while they could care less and treat us like less than human. We wouldn't be shopping anywhere. Too much. And that's the truth. So while we are pulling out and identifying this company and that company. Listen, I've been some places where they had the DEI and let me in the door and treated me like trash the whole time. They just gonna let us wait out. They don't worry. They know we'll be back. They know we'll be back. Without a doubt, one reason. Without a doubt. Let me come up. Dalen said something. I don't want to miss it. Let me come up. I've been in retail for 25 years or more. I'm missing something there. Sorry, we do it to ourselves. We have never respected ourselves. I've worked for some companies that literally have did amazing things around tax season. Excuse me, because they know how we like to consume. I'm just going to keep my let me see where this. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read it and it's jumping on me, Dalen. My apologies. I'm just going to keep my know how we like to consume. I'm just going to keep my opinions to myself. When you understand, you'll know. Listen, I've seen it. I've experienced it. I won't say some things that I could say because at the end of the day, I'd love to call some things out that I know firsthand. And we just keep on patronizing. Their name is not on that list, but they taking your money and hating you all the while. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. So this is what, and even as I said, you stay away from the bandwagon because I'm not one to throw away money. Come on. And this is what I said in Rebel's stream this morning when she brought it up. And that is, I do boycott, but I'm a one woman personal boycott. Anywhere and anytime I see inequitable practices and dislike and exploitation of people of color, I do not shop there. I don't. And that's just me. And I try my best to find people of color, particularly black folks, to buy from. And so, that part, I try to make sure, not just on certain days, but I try to regularly, because if small businesses, startup businesses, black businesses are going to survive, we got to go in and patronize them. So at the end of the day, that when she said boycott, I typed boycott in the stream. But she knows me and I know me. I wasn't talking about I'm getting ready to jump on the boycott bandwagon because I already boycott. Nobody has to tell me to boycott. Okay, nobody has to tell me where to boycott. Am I talking to anybody? Because at the end of the day, and I'm not trying to bust the boycott up and make it ineffective, but what are you doing after the days of the boycott are over? That's what I want you to ask yourselves. What do you do after the days that the boycott is over? Okay, and I'm going to just kind of leave it right there. I'm going to read these last statements and I'm going to leave it at that. I do the same because inequality is that in any language or practice. Come on, Chef Nobi. But in our fairness, as someone who likes to support black business, I feel that black businesses also have to step up and provide a better level of customer service than they have been providing to their consumers. I believe they rest on their laurels with regards to our people will support us, but then not necessarily treat their people fairly either. And this is what I want to say to that. And I'm going to stand with Rebel on this one as well. And I typically don't use myself as an example, but I will. I am a good pastor. However, and I'm not saying this, please don't feel that I'm saying this to try to, I'm not trying to go, but I can talk about what I know. Or let me use my father. Maybe I can go there. Okay, so people don't think I'm trying to blow myself up. My father's deceased. He has no skin in the game. My father was an excellent pastor. All you hear about in ministry and pastoring are the hooks, the crooks, and the folks that don't do right. If I say church, people immediately conjure up conversation about how they ain't no good. If I say pastors, we immediately start talking about all of the dirty, low down, scamming pastors that are out there. If I say anything about giving, we automatically, all they want is your money and da 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 da. Come on, One Reason. I'm telling the truth. And so, this mindset, there are black businesses out there that are good. There are black businesses out there that are doing something. And so, this is where I have gone and let me say, even on Twitch, if you all remember when I would stream, I talk everybody up. I talk all the streamers up. Listen, I'm going to do it. As I said in Rebel Stream today, word of mouth costs us nothing but to say, hey, do you know One Reason is an excellent streamer? Go out there and listen to him. But this whole notion of always finding the negative, and even on Twitch, I have talked up some businesses. I've talked up some people that I had to go back and eat my words to, people that I had recommended them to because they got burnt. What you didn't hear me do was get back on Twitch and on the internet and talk them down and talk about them like a dog and talk negative, because at the end of the day, even though that experience did not turn out to be a good experience for people that went there only because I said this person and that person is doing da 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 da, check them out. Well, we checked them out and we found out there were issues. But then even at that, come on, listen to me. Sometimes we don't know what those issues are. Sometimes it may be a temporary issue. Sometimes it may be a knowledge issue. Sometimes it may be a misunderstanding issue, but I'm not going to get back online and talk about them like a dog and blow them out of the water like you're no good, you're no good, you're no good, baby, you're no good. I'm not going to do that. Because at the end of the day, it may have been a phase, it may have been a moment, it may have been a situation, and they may be perfecting their skill and their craft and their business. Okay. So, I just feel like the grace. Now, can I say this? You and I will go to those non-black establishments and get absolutely horrible service or horrible situations, and we go back. I'm telling what God loves, and that's the truth. Now, y'all didn't ask for this, but I'm here, and I'm getting ready to get off. That part, One Reason, you'll go back to that establishment. You'll go back to the, come on, Rebel, I didn't even know you were out there. And you go right back to that restaurant. You go right back to that store. You go right back to that dealership. You go right back to that mechanic, and you just keep going back and giving them your money. You go right back to that plumber. You go right back to those people. And this part I don't understand, because all you'll do is give a black establishment one opportunity. And when they miss that one opportunity for a reason that you don't know why they missed it, you will talk about them like a dog and run their name into the mud and then say, y'all need to do better in the black community, when some of these white businesses, their reputation is nothing but bad business, and y'all still go back and patronize those bad businesses and don't get on the internet and on the horn and on the telephone and on the text and on the social media and talk about them like a dog. I talk truth in this channel. And Rebel, I don't know when you came in, but I was talking about your channel earlier today, and you did a beautiful stream. You are that new generation. You are that new generation coming, and I look at you and I love it. I love you and I love what you're doing. I love new methodology. I love new ideas. I love new energy. I love all of that. You just came in. They can tell you, I'm not trying to blow you up, but I've been talking about you the whole entire stream. Because at the end of the day, yes, Rebel has one of the best streams to watch. She really, really does. And I thank you for what you shared on today and the direction that you went, because it was just powerful. And tonight's Bible study is about the new generation and how God had Moses number the people again for the new generation that was coming as they're preparing to go into the promised land. I am thankful. I am grateful. I applaud all of you youngsters that are coming behind, and you are doing your thing and putting this thing together. I applaud you. I love you. I want to encourage you. I want to support you. I want to do whatever I can do to see you reach the fullest potential of your success, because it's time for us to go into the promised land. Can, can the church say amen? Can the church say amen? Dr. Dady said something I saw. Let me come back up. So Dalen, I know and you know I love you. You know I love you. You are precious to my soul. So I don't want you to feel like you just got jumped on, but I want us to stop talking about black businesses like we don't come up to par. Listen, have that same energy for all these other companies that are out here. Some of them are doing worse and treating us worse and gypping us worse and not making good worse than we do. But all I hear often is about how black businesses miss the mark. And can we talk about the businesses that do hit the mark? Can we do that? Can we normalize that? Can we normalize that? Oh my, come on. We do one and done. We do one and done. Reason we will not give them another chance. Will not. We give folks in the street more grace than we do. See, it's jumping because I'm trying to hold on to what you said, Dr. Dady. I want to read it in its entirety because I know it was good. We give folks in the street more grace than we do our tried and true friends and family. No grace, zero. Then we want to hold court as if you're the victim or high and mighty in your mom's voice. Come on here, Dr. Dady. And you said it. You said it. You said it. You said it. And we've got to take one another to task on that. Yes, Chef Nobi, we go right back. We go right back. One and done. So calling it name brand and luxury. One reason, and some of that stuff they're calling luxury is made in China and falling apart the first time you open the zipper. The zipper is as cheap as I don't know what. And you paid $895 for that little handbag. Cheap. I said what I said, and I'll add to it. But then when you buy from us, oh girl, I got that thing and the zipper wasn't no good. Well, the zipper wasn't no good on that name brand, but you bought it. Y'all, yes, I'm telling what God loves, and that's the truth. That is the truth. I guess for me personally, I have a high level of service that I expect with regards to my mind. I do too. I do too. But all I'm saying is that I want us to have that same energy. I want us to have that same energy when we experience these other things, that the quality is not there. The customer service is not there. The satisfaction is not there. And we just keep on going back and giving them repeat business. That's all I'm addressing, Dalen. That's all. And I want and expect something for my money too. But listen, can I say this? I also see some things as an investment. Y'all ain't buying what I'm selling. Name brand you can't wear more than once. Come on here, Chef Nobi. I see your hello. Sometimes, Dalen, and I'm only saying you because you're having the conversation with me, and I appreciate you for that. I'm just by no means jumping on you. Sometimes I need to understand they're just getting started. Sometimes I need to understand they can only afford at this level right here. And if I take my dollars away, how are they going to do better? Am I talking to anybody? How can if I take my dollars away from them, even though what they're doing right now, they may have a learning curve that's going on here. We surely definitely know more times than not, there's a financial shortage or a financial struggle that tends to be present. We know that just by sheer virtue of the color of my skin, I'm going to get scrutinized at a different level, including by my own people, and talked about like a dog. If I understand that, sometimes I'm just going to say I'm making an investment. And have I gone back to people that still have not polished themselves in the area that they are? I sure have. I most certainly have. And have I seen some of those individuals come out on top of the world? I most certainly have. Because sometimes it takes time to grow your brand. Am I talking to anybody? Make an investment. That little money you put in. Okay, so can I say it from this angle? Some companies, when they start, get investors that are giving them into the thousands to the hundreds of thousands of dollars just before they even open the door. I got a concept, I got an idea. Bam, here's the money. And so is it a hard thing if I spent $50 on an item and maybe it wasn't up to speed? If I spent $50 on a service and it didn't give me everything, can I see that as my angel investing in it? Good grief, it was only $50. Am I talking to anybody? It was only $50. Can I step back and see myself and embrace myself as an investor that this person didn't have before? And maybe if I continue to invest in them, maybe they will be able to create the experience that I want to have. Am I talking to anybody? Chef Nobi, I agreed it should be that way for everyone because I will walk out of an establishment depending on how they greet me. Come on. $50. Listen, Chef Nobi, I hear you. And $50, at certain times, in certain places, it can be a lot of money. But if, Chef Nobi, I'm telling you, if I came to your establishment and $50 was all I had in my pocket, and I spent that $50 in your establishment, and it didn't necessarily meet all of the, you were having a bad day. Sometimes we just have a bad day. You messed around, put too much salt in it. You messed around and thought whatever. An ingredient that you needed was missing, but you didn't have time to go to the store and get it, or whatever. It happens. I don't care. To the best of us, it happens. Am I going to walk out and say I had a horrible experience and withhold my $50 and have an attitude, I'm not ever going back there to eat again? That food was just, it happens. Sometimes we just have an off day. It happens to all of us in whatever arena we operate in. And I'm just asking us to have grace, especially when it comes to people of color and Black folks. I think it depends on the service and what comes with the service. I got you, CJ Manning. I got you. It depends. Well, if you are, can I say this? If you are fronting yourself as an expert in something, in an area, in a service area especially, if you are flaunting and taunting that you're an expert, that's a whole nother thing. You understand the word? And even you're going to have an off day, but this becomes, now this is where we have to identify. My friend had a brother that I needed plumbing at my house. And so my friend's brother told me he had a plumber. And so I went to pick him up. Now that was my first That was my first ha ha because the man needed a ride. What kind of plumbing are you doing out here in these streets and you don't have transportation? But that's okay. I'm not even gonna lie. I knew then. I knew then. Houston, there is a problem. So now, because you know, plumbing is a specialized field. Don't be out here saying you can do stuff you can't do. And quite frankly, that's an experience that I had with someone here on Twitch that were what they were saying and purporting they could do something, they didn't know how to do it. So at the end of the day, he came out when I picked him up in dress clothes. He didn't even have a snake with him, Chef Nobi. He didn't even have a snake. He came out in dress clothes and dress shoes to go plumb. And I knew. Oh, Sunday best, Rebel. Sunday best. He was on a date. He was playing the dating game. I knew then he wasn't going to touch not one thing at my house, not one pipe. Plum, Joanna G. Plum. Now, some of us need to call a spade and quit lying. Stop saying you can do stuff you don't know how to do. And there you have it. Stop lying and saying you know how to do stuff you don't know how to do. So he was just going, listen, CJ Manning, let me tell you what, because I went ahead and took him over there because I was hot as fish grease, as old folk used to say. I burnt my gas and I was in Kansas and he was in Missouri, in Midtown at that, and I had to drive all the way over there and pick him up and take him back to my house. I let him look, but I wasn't worried because, listen, Joanna G, he didn't, who was it said snake, Joanna? It doesn't matter whoever said it. Not only did he not have a snake, the man didn't have any tools. Oh my God. So, listen, not even a plunger, one reason. Yes, CJ man. Yep, it's clogged. Oh, listen, Dalen, I wasn't worried because at that point, his name was Otis. and my friend's brother said, he was like, how did it go? I said, listen, when I told him what happened, he's like, look, he just woke up one day and said, I'm a plumber. Otis just woke up one day and said, I'm a plumber. And this is a problem, y'all. And you know, I can laugh about it now, but when I tell you I was hot as fish grease because I had wasted my gas, my time, and everything else, and I was just Dalen, and really, he didn't get, when the man didn't come out with anything, didn't have anything, came out dressed up and so on and so forth. I knew, can I tell the truth? I knew when he needed a ride to get to my house, it was an issue. So at the end of the day, you know, I let him look. He needed my flashlight, got up under the sink and didn't do a thing and didn't have any, not just clueless. I wasn't worried. So at the end of the day, this is one area, Dalen, and I think who was it? CJ Manning. I don't remember who it was. Yes, CJ. I think it was you. That we really do have to address. If you're talking about a specialized field where you have not even a flashlight, Nobi, where you have no experience, you cannot present yourself. Come on, Diva. Come on in here. Good to see you. Nothing but mad love to you. Blessings upon blessings be yours. This is where we really have to address our credibility. Do you really have the credentials and the know-how to do what you say how to do? And can I say this to us as consumers and those that utilize the services? Do your due diligence. Do your due diligence. Um, and especially if it's something that's specialized, get referrals from people that you trust. Do your due diligence. That's all I can say. Now, in some areas, I try different cooks. I try different restaurants. I try different things. I try. If it's no skin off my nose and it's just gonna cost me, just going in and even, can I say this? If you've ever had a business, sometimes you feel good just when somebody comes in and shows their face. Does anybody know what I'm talking about? If you've ever owned and operated a business, sometimes you feel good just when somebody comes in and shows their face because it says they're thinking about you. Come on, Chef Novi. Come on, One Reason. Come on, Rebel. Can we learn how to give that to each other? It doesn't have to be as vicious as we make it. That's why I've always loved the window shopper. At least you gave me somebody to talk to for these 8 hours while I was standing and doing what I'm doing. Absolutely. It's nice just to get an order, CJ Manning. Come on, Chef Nobi, you feed people with smiles. I'm telling you, sometimes you don't know how much that proprietor and that entrepreneur, you don't know how much your presence and just showing up and just letting them know they're thought of. You don't know how rich that is to them. And sometimes that means more than all the money you could ever spend in their establishment. Just your presence and your face, or some level of acknowledging that you're aware of what they're doing and you support them. Okay. So I think there's so many ways that we can recalibrate ourselves so that we can all be successful. And that's what I want to see. And that, come on, Diva. That's what Rebel was pushing this morning. That's what Rebel was really encouraging us to do in coming together. I have a virtual store, and when I get just one order in months, I get, come on here, One Reason. Come on, come on, come on. And this is the thing. I'm glad you said that, because God is my witness. Yes, thank you for that. Feel free whenever you're in this channel to remind us of that, because I want to support, and I don't mean just lip service. I mean, I want to support. And sometimes, so me and the wife tried doing custom shirts. It always feels good just discussing ideas and coming up with shirt design. Come on, CJ Manning, I didn't know that. And listen, I'm looking for some shirts. One Reason, I'm looking for whatever you have. I want some. And let's encourage one another. Let's encourage one another. It doesn't take a lot. And that investment that you're spending, and I understand those of you that may be frugal, and no negativity there at all. I'm not trying to throw shade. Because hey, there are times, and I even said in Rebel stream this morning, I said, when I have it, sometimes I don't have. I went through a season where I had to basically relinquish all of my who I was subscribed to in Twitch, because I had so many that I was subscribed to. I was like, I can't afford it. And so until I got to another place and another space, I had to relinquish everybody and then come back and start again. So, but as I said, when I have it, I'm happy to give it. When I have it, I'm happy to share it. When I have it, I'm happy to patronize. But what I can do, even if I don't have it, I can tell somebody else about it. You also loved learning the process of doing the shirts we did. Come on here. Come on, Chef Novi. That's real talk. That's real talk. And this is where I think, and even if we can have good energy about that, because sometimes I noticed the shift in energy. Spread the word, Rebel. Spread the word. I noticed the shift in energy when I went in places where I was no longer subscribed, and folks, like, and I'm like, no, you don't know why I unsubscribed. I couldn't afford you, but now that you're gonna act nasty toward me, I'm not gonna resubscribe. Since you want to act nasty, because you don't even know my situation, you know. And then ultimately, I'm come on, and I still might come back and resubscribe because you may have been having a bad day when you had got the attitude, and it's all good. Sometimes we just have moments, we have times, we have situations where things are going on. That's where I am right now. I'm waiting to get right so I can re up on folk that I love. That's it. One reason. That's it. And listen, let me say this, folks. For one reason, come on, let's go out and send some love. And this is one thing that came up in the chat today. One reason, DJ Rock and Ron, I don't know if he's still here. Dr. Dady Priest, the Rebel Inc. is in here. Chef Nobi. And they were talking about what they actually have to split in the platform. Go out to their cash apps. Cash app them, baby. You want them to get the full amount of money that you're contributing on their behalf while they're taking their time, energy, and effort to stream. Cash app them. Zelle, whatever way you have to get some money. Now, and they know more than I do. You may need to they may need to have so many people yet, and still I don't know how all of that works. Good evening, Shelly Thunder. There's the prophetess. So much love coming to you. Thank you for coming in. You may need to go out there and still subscribe with that little $4.99, $5.99, and sometimes that ain't little if you ain't got it. So I'm not trying to make it sound like nothing, but you may have to do that so that we can keep them where they need to be to maintain their status. I don't know if there's a potential of loss of status because I'm not there. But at the end of the day, then send a little something and give a tip. You understand what I'm saying? Let's do a little something just to let them know that we care more than just that, because it takes time, energy, and effort. Love. They love what they're doing. I'm telling you, because if it was just a matter of doing it to be doing it, there's so many other things they could be doing and potentially fare better than what they're faring by blessing us. So I just want to, and I know I took a little bit of time. This is, somewhere else for some. Some folks may have tuned me out and went on their way because I'm not. But listen, can I say this? If all we ever care about are scriptures and the Bible, and we don't care about building and supporting one another, something is wrong. I said what I said, and I'll add to it before I take it back. If all we care about is scriptures and the Bible, and we don't care about building one another, something is wrong. My heart, my energy for what these people are doing unselfishly in their streams and blessing people because they love what they're doing and they love the people and they're trying to bring a difference. And all of this makes a difference. All of this makes a difference. Come on here, Diva. That's the truth. That's the truth. It is. Can't have one without the other, Shelly. We just can't do it. You're deceiving yourselves if that's what you think. So this is where, and I appreciate all of you that have come in late tonight and shared with me. I appreciate you. And thank you for coming in. I had to look for this. I haven't done it in over a year, but Shelly Thunder. I just had to do that, Shelly. All right. I'm going to get ready to get out of here because I feel my foolishness coming on. But at the same time, Crystal Method, good to see you. Good to see. I just had to do that. I haven't done that in almost 2 years. I appreciate everybody that's here. I really, really do. And I appreciate, come on, CJ Manning, let's go. Kapow, one reason, kapow. I appreciate one reason I love you. I just cannot tell you how tremendously you have impacted my life. That's the other word that jumped out at me that Rebel was talking about today. And that is impact. That's impact. The thing is that we're here to make impact. Otherwise, all the rest of this is pointless and to no avail. Rebel, I appreciate you for coming in and thank you for sharing with us. Shelly Thunder, everybody that's here, because I think I had called everyone else. Come on, Diva. It's so good to have you. Listen, I appreciate you all. I appreciate you all. And I appreciate you coming in. And so, Dalen, I love you. I love you. And I understand exactly what you're saying, CJ Manning 7. I understand exactly what both of you all are saying. So, yes, we do have to have some come to Jesus moments and some come to Jesus conversations. But at the same time, I want to see us, let's build everybody that's in it for the real, everybody that's in it for love, everybody that's in it to build all of us together in networking in kingdom. I want to see us all win. I want to see everybody win. All right. Leaving us with that last thought, tonight's Bible study was about the new generation that was getting ready to go over into the promised land. And who are you numbered with? Pay attention to who you're numbered with and align yourself to people that are going to bless you and that you can be a blessing to as well. I love you. Thank you for coming in. We're going to get up out of here. And you know, I always like to close with the idea that in all that you do and everywhere you go, I want you to have peace for your journey. Thank you for the sub. We're building something.